Welcome, fight fans. I'm very excited to welcome you to this virtual press conference. My name is Claudia Trejos, and we will be joined by two outstanding fighters. Vergil Ortiz Jr. will be facing off against Maurice Mo Hooker. This is going to be on March 20th on a typical Texas showdown. It's going to be taking place at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. It's a fight that's going to be presented by Golden Boy Promotions, live only on DAZN. Tickets are on sale today, so go ahead, log into Ticketmaster.com, get your ticket, or join us live on DAZN. This fight will take place for that vacant WBO International Welterweight title, a fight you cannot miss. Well, it's time to start this off. Let's go all the way to the Big Apple in New York so we can hear from DAZN Executive Vice President Joe Markowski. Joe?
Well, thanks, Claudia, and thank you to Oscar, both the fighters and their teams. This is not only a riveting hometown battle between two Dallas natives, but also a true crossroads fight, the result of which will have serious implications in one of the hottest weight divisions in boxing right now. Vergil's on a sensational knockout streak, 16 for 16 speaks for itself, but he's going into his toughest test yet. It's been a thrill to watch a promising young star like him ascend through the rankings, and another victory here will propel him towards that long-awaited world title shot. Maurice, of course, as he should, has every intention to stop his fellow Texan short, and as a former world champion himself, will be determined to make a statement of his own in the welterweight division. Fans can catch all the action live, of course, worldwide on DAZN as part of a jam-packed start to 2021 that also includes pound-for-pound king Canelo Alvarez returning to the ring just 10 weeks after his sensational win against Callum Smith in December, Jojo Diaz's first ever defense of his hard-won IBF world title, the highly anticipated second meeting between heavyweight rivals Alexander Povetkin and Dillian Whyte, and Estrada versus Chocolatito 2, a spectacular rematch that's been years in the making. All of that and more before this Ortiz Hooker showdown on the 20th of March. Best of luck to both fighters, as always, and we look forward to seeing fans from across the world on DAZN very soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Joe. Can't wait for fight night. And it's time to move on down south. We're going to go all the way down to Fort Worth, Texas, and we are going to welcome Matt Holman, president of Dickies Arena. Matt?
Thank you, Claudia. When I moved to Fort Worth, Texas, I immediately learned about the importance of boxing and its history in this community. We are thrilled to be bringing it back through our partnership with Golden Boy Promotions. On Saturday, March 20th, Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker will face off in the main event at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. This main event features two DFW natives, making the matchup even more exciting for North Texas. Boxing fans will enjoy a stacked card before Ortiz Jr. and Hooker face off in this welterweight matchup at Dickies Arena on Saturday, March 20th. The first bout starts at 4:10 p.m. To ensure the safety of our guests, we have implemented several new policies at Dickies Arena, including socially distanced pod seating and limited capacities. Please visit dickiesarena.com for more information. We're looking forward to seeing everyone at Dickies Arena on Saturday, March 20th. Tickets are on sale now.
Thank you, Matt. Don't forget, tickets are on sale today. Go ahead, log in, Ticketmaster.com. You do not want to miss this fight. And it's now time to hear from another fighter that's going to be participating in the undercard, Seniesa Estrada from Los Angeles. She's going to be fighting for the WBA minimum weight world title. Hello, Miss Superbad. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you on board.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm really excited. You're title bound, and this is going to be airing globally on DAZN. What does this mean to you?
Oh, it means so much to me. This is definitely the biggest fight of my career. World title fight is something that I've been wanting for a while now, but I feel like it's here at the perfect time. You know, no better time in my career than to have a world title fight than right now, because I feel like I'm just at my best right now, and I'm just right at the start of my prime.
You are this new wave of female fighters. What does this opportunity mean for women's boxing in general?
Oh, this opportunity is huge for women's boxing to be on this platform, on DAZN globally. You know, I'm just training so hard every day to make sure that I perform at my best ability so I can represent women's boxing in a great way, so it can get people who aren't women's boxing fans to see me fight and want to watch women's boxing because of me. So, I have the platform to do it, and I have the opportunity to do it. So I'm definitely going to go in there and just represent for all women as best as I can.
You're coming full circle because you start in Boyle Heights. We all know what happens in Lorena Street, Boyle Heights. The pride of East LA, Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya. You grew up watching him, and now he's your promoter. What does this mean to you?
It means everything. It just means that dreams come true. He was one of my favorite fighters growing up, and even before I started boxing, when I first watched boxing, when my dad introduced me to boxing, I thought to myself, I'm gonna become a world champion. I'm gonna be signed by Golden Boy Promotions, and I'm gonna be one of the biggest names in boxing, in female and women's boxing. I knew that before I even stepped into the gym. It's possible for all your dreams to come true, and everything that you set your mind to can definitely happen, and it's here, and everything that I've dreamed of before I even started boxing is happening.
You are one of those few fighters that actually trend tremendously on Twitter and different social media platforms, but you also got the attention of LeBron James, and that was on your last fight that lasted, I thought it was like 40 seconds, but I think that included the intro, the presentation, the call of the corners, and then all of 7 minutes, 7 seconds worth of fight. How did your life change, if it did at all, after you being trending for like a month after that?
Yeah, with the way social media is nowadays for not only fighters, but just for everyone in general, it's great, and it's important that I go out there and I look my best, and I, make sure another fight goes viral.
You're going to be facing Anabel La Vispa Ortiz, and she has a record of 31-3 and 4 knockouts. And she's on a winning streak. She's defended her title, minimum weight world title, 12 times. This is definitely a well-seasoned champion. She's making her debut in the U.S. Obviously, she's going to try to use this platform to make a name for herself here in America. But for you, you're looking to become a champion in many weight divisions. How is this a challenge compared to your other fights?
Yeah, this is definitely a challenge because Anabel Ortiz is the most seasoned opponent that I'm facing. I mean, not opponent, champion. And it's a fight that I've always known was going to happen from my very first professional fight. I knew that I was going to end up facing Anabel Ortiz one day. And this is my first time fighting at 105 pounds, but I'm so excited because 105 pounds and 108 pounds are like my natural weight classes that I should have been fighting at from the beginning of my career. So I'm really excited to be fighting at a weight class where I feel the strongest and I feel the best at. I'm definitely not taking Anabel lightly. I know what she does good. I know her strengths. I know her weaknesses, and I'm preparing to go in there and just give my best performance I've ever given before.
How much further do you think you're going to extend yourself? How far do you see your career going?
Well, I would like to win all major titles at 105 pounds and all major titles at 108 pounds, and then eventually also fight at 112 pounds and get titles there too. So I see my career finishing as champion in all 3 weight divisions.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you, seeing Vergil, seeing Mo, and Anabel, seeing everybody. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to March 20th.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we heard from a great fighter from East Los Angeles, and it's now time to move on to another outstanding fighter from East Los. The legend, the Hall of Famer, the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya. Well, here's the promoter himself, the legend Oscar De La Hoya. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you. And obviously, first of all, congratulations. You started 2021 with a bang.
Yes, we did. Thank you. Thank you for having me. We set the stage for everyone. We want to make sure that that boxing continues to grow, that promoters, everyone out there is aware that we must make great fights. And we started with Ryan Garcia versus Campbell. It was a great show. This show here with Vergil Ortiz, and Hooker is going to be another extravagant event. This is what we do. This is what we must do to continue growing the sport. And these are the types of fights that move the needle.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's a tough act to follow once you have Ryan Garcia against Campbell.
Right.
Major explosive fight. Now all of a sudden we're going back to Dallas and it's a stacked event. I mean, you don't only have Vergil Ortiz, which is one of those up and coming at 147 division, you know all too well, but you have a very well liked explosive fighter, Seniesa Estrada.
Yes.
What makes you think that the fans are going to go back to see this event?
Both fighters are great fighters. They put everything on the line. But when you think about Vergil Ortiz, he has to be the best fighter out there at 147 or in any weight class, for that matter. Vergil Ortiz, and I've said this all along, Vergil Ortiz will beat anybody at 147 right now.
So now that we're talking about Vergil, his talent, and obviously your planning of his career, what makes Maurice Hooker a challenge for Vergil Ortiz?
You take a look at Hooker's fight with Ramirez, and it was an action-packed, great fight. He's going to present to Vergil different movements, different footwork, speed, his mannerisms. They're totally different than what Vergil has been used to fighting in the past. So it's like I've always said, styles make fights, and you have to make sure that you bring along a fighter and present to him, as every fight goes on, you present to him different styles. And so Maurice Hooker presents a totally unique, different style. He's fast, he's explosive, he's very elusive. It's going to be different for Vergil. And, the question is, will he pass that test? Will he knock Hooker out? Vergil Ortiz has been knocking everybody out. So we want to see Vergil go several rounds. And this is exactly what Golden Boy does, is make sure that we build not only champions, but we build superstars. And I believe that Vergil Ortiz is on the verge of becoming a superstar.
How much chance does Hooker have with his experience facing somebody as young as Vergil?
Sure. I mean, look, Hooker's young as well, and I believe that Hooker has the advantage here because he does have the experience. He has more fights than Vergil. I do give the advantage to Vergil, yes, because of his youth, but the experience means a lot. And if you know how to use it and use it wisely, I think Hooker can present a lot of problems to Vergil. But look, we have all the confidence in the world that obviously Vergil has a great corner. He has a great trainer. Vergil is out on a mission, and he wants to become the best. And I think sky's the limit for Vergil if he gets past Hooker.
A lot of times promoters are being accused of taking care of their talent and just, sheltering them. That's obviously not the case. You threw Vergil against a Maurice a tested fighter.
Right.
Could this be a fast rise? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I fought for my first world title when I had 11 fights. You take a look at fighters who rise to the top faster than any other fighters that are comparable to one. But I feel that Vergil is rising steadily. He's on the verge of breaking through. And he's right there. He's knocking on everybody's door. And, you have to take a look at how he's dismantling his opponents. You have to take a look at the opposition. You have to take a look at the styles, how he reacts. It's a whole science behind it. And it obviously makes it much easier for me because I was a fighter. I know what the fighter's thinking, what the fighter is going through, what styles fighters like and don't like. So I strongly feel, as his promoter, I feel that Vergil is right there ready to dismantle anybody at 147.
All righty then. Thank you, Oscar, for your time. It's always a pleasure to see you, and can't wait to see you in Fort Worth, Texas, Dickies Arena. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Appreciate it.
And now we're going to be joined by two very exciting fighters. The undefeated phenom from Grand Prairie, Texas, Vergil Ortiz Jr., and his opponent, the ever so dangerous Maurice "Mo" Hooker. Welcome, gentlemen. It's so great to have you guys here in this virtual press conference. Vergil, Mo, it's been a bit since we last saw each other, but it's awesome to see you guys again. And I'm going to start with Vergil. Let's start with you've headlined before at Grand Prairie. How does it feel to be the main event now in Dallas?
It feels great. This is my home area. DFW. I'm gonna say the whole DFW. I have a lot of following there. I have a lot of friends, fans, family, and I know they're as excited as I am to be fighting there again.
Vergil, you've said before this is the toughest fight of your career. Why?
It's the toughest fight in my career because I've known Hooker since the amateur days. He's always been a great boxer. And I feel like I carry some of that like feelings from the amateur days to now. And also, he has a long reach. He's tall. He hits hard, and he's been a world champion before. You can't be a world champion without being a good boxer, and he's definitely a great boxer. So
yeah, he's given us the best of the best in the ring. And Mo, you've never shied away from risks. What makes Vergil that type of risk that you're willing to take after almost over a year of non-action in the ring?
To be the best, you gotta fight the best. Look at his record: 16-0, 16 knockouts. Look what he done. He's a good boxer, good movement, and he up and coming. So I feel like for me, I gotta get in there and do what I gotta do.
Mo, one time in your career, you were that young buck coming up the ranks. At this point in time, you have a very clear idea of what's expected of you in the ring on March 20th. But what is going to be key for you to take that win?
I just get in there, get in the ring, and be smart. Do what I do best. And I know Vergil, he young, he hungry, and he coming with everything. And I just gotta be ready, 100% ready. I can't lose focus in this fight. I got my eyes on the prize.
That 147 crown is going to be waiting for you, obviously, for both of you. And as a matter of fact, when I speak to somebody like Robert Garcia, who's been in your corner for many, many years, Vergil, he's always said that style makes fights. And obviously, you've given us explosive events. So how do you see this fight, stylistically speaking, evolving?
Not even the style. I think it comes down to our competitiveness. We're both very competitive. Let's say if I land a hit, he's going to want to come and, show that he's there too. So he's going to come and hit me. And then, I think it's just going to be like a little domino effect. It's going to turn into a war.
Well, the division 147 is definitely filled with warriors that are willing to just go and explode. And you're working with a very important, I'd say, factor in the welterweight division, Mo, and that would be Bud Crawford. You're working with his trainer, and it's going to be right after you lost against Jose Carlos Ramirez. Could you tell me what difference has that team made in your style, in your fight?
Working with them is like being with family. We all look out for each other. So I feel very comfortable with them being in my corner, and with the game plan they got, I love it. So this fight here taught me going there to show them the new Maurice Hooker. When I fought Jose, it wasn't my night, and this night, gonna be a good one.
And this question is gonna go for both of you. Local talent, both Texans, and now you're gonna be in Dallas. You're gonna be headlining. Vergil, what does this mean to you?
It means a lot, just fighting in front of my friends and family. Like I said before, it's an honor. I've never got to fight at home a lot, especially as main event. And I'm ready to put on a great show. That's what I am. I'm a showsman. I don't like to be in boring fights. So I don't like to watch boring fights. I'm not going to be in one. And every fight I promise to give a good show.
And Mo, Dallas was the place where you actually had one of the biggest challenges, yet everybody was behind you in that fight against Jose Carlos Ramirez. What do you need to prove when you go back to Dallas?
I just prove that I still can be a world champion 147. I still have it, We both from Dallas, Texas. We both fought in the amateurs, and both did good things in the amateurs for Dallas. I know it's a dream to come true to fight another a guy from Texas, from Dallas, Texas. And on a fight like this, we give kids hopes and dreams to be like us one day.
I hear you. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Let's not forget March 20th. The date is on the zone, live on the zone. This is a Texas showdown. Maurice Hooker against Vergil Ortiz at 147. Looking forward to it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I want to take this opportunity to thank Vergil, to thank Mo, Seniesa, and Oscar de la Hoya for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's not forget, we have a date, March 20th. We have the opportunity to see Vergil Ortiz facing Maurice Mo Hooker in a typical Texas showdown. We will be live on the zone globally. So go ahead, buy your tickets on Ticketmaster.com because we will be at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Don't forget, the date is with us, March 20th. Till then.